Hi everybody and welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since I've last done like a sit down talk with me video, and I kind of just wanted to do an update video and telling you what current journals that I am using and ones that I think would be great for you guys to start using. So the two journals that I am currently using are my morning journal and my art journal, and I've been using these a lot more lately, you know, kind of to deal with my mental stress and all that and anxiety. And I started this channel because I was dealing with a lot of things, and so I turned to journaling in order to cope with that and to kind of reduce my levels of anxiety and stress. And so I wanted to share with you guys what journals I am currently using in my life to kind of cope with my mental stress. So the first journal is my morning journal, and I'm sure you guys know what type of journal this is, and I actually did a video not that long ago, I think it was last year, but I did a types of journals you should have, and this was in the video. So a morning journal is just a journal that you write in every morning, and typically you should fill up about 3 pages, but you obviously don't have to do that. But the idea is to just wake up and have that be the first thing to do. And so morning journaling was something that I used to do very religiously years ago, and I kind of stopped doing it, but recently I got back into it about a month ago, and it was because I've been dealing with a lot of mental stress, and I was kind of turning back to journaling. And so I started my morning journal again, and so every morning that I wake up, I get my coffee and I just sit down and I write. This just helps with dealing with whatever thoughts were in my mind the night before, because you know, at night I feel like it's the worst for me, where thoughts just rush through my head. So in the morning I like to take my time to just write about 1 or 2 pages about anything that's on my mind, and I like to reflect on that, you know, talk about why I'm feeling that way. And this has helped me a lot because I'm able to reflect on why I'm thinking certain things. And the reason it helps me so much is because naturally I'm somebody who likes to bottle things up. I don't like to talk to anybody about anything. I used to go to therapy. It just wasn't working for me because like I have a hard time talking to people about things, and I feel like the only person that can probably help me is myself, you know, if I reflect on it, you know. And I would go to therapy and they would help me and talk to me about certain things, but at the end of the day it did come down to me, and I was the one that had to make a certain choice, you know, and I had to listen to myself. And so that's why I got back into morning journaling, because I was somebody who just bottled things up. It was just not good for me. It was a lot for me, and so I just wanted to let everything out. And so that is why I chose to journal everything again. And I used to do this years ago, about 6 years ago. I used to write every single day, like pages, probably 5 pages of just journaling and writing of whatever was bothering me, and I would just kind of let it all out. But I stopped, and you know, this past year, ever since COVID started, it kind of got worse for me. And so I picked up morning journaling again, and it's great for anybody who, you know, wants to talk about things and wants to reflect and don't really know how to do that, I guess. So like a morning journal, it would be great for you guys, especially if you're somebody who wants to get into journaling but doesn't really know how. A morning journal would be perfect for you. So the way to use a morning journal is, as it says in the name, you journal in the mornings. So you typically want to wake up and have that be the first thing you do. You know, don't try to go onto social media, don't try to do anything else. Just go straight into journaling and just write whatever you want. Try to fill up about 3 pages, but that's, you know, a lot of people can't do that. Unless you have a tiny journal, then it's probably easier to fill up 3 pages, but if you can't, that's fine. You just want to try to write as much as you can and just let everything that comes into your mind out on your paper. If it makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter. You write it out, and you don't have to worry about grammar either. So it's great because you don't have to filter yourself. You don't have to worry about if something's right, if something makes sense or not. The idea is to just kind of let everything come out of your head. And I feel like this is a great technique because when I started morning journaling years ago, I was kind of like, okay, this is stupid. I'm writing like dumb stuff, like, okay, who cares if the weather is nice today or whatever. But as you keep doing this every day, you'll start to realize that there are certain thoughts that you didn't think were really in your mind. Since you're just writing and you're putting whatever is popping up into your head, then you start to realize, wow, okay, I didn't realize that this was in my mind, and I didn't think that this was such an issue for me, but apparently it was. And so at the end, you'll see that, you know, there's all these things in your mind that you didn't really ever reflect on, but now you can. And this is my morning journal, but of course it's not just writing. I have to decorate it with all my stationery, and so it's super cute. And I like to read in cursive just because I feel like cursive writing is something that the person writing it can only understand. You know, when I read other people's handwriting, even if it's nice and perfect, I really can't understand it unless it was that writer that was writing it. So I kind of write in cursive so that nobody else can really know what I'm writing, because I kind of want to keep it private. And also another thing is that I stopped writing in journals because I was afraid somebody was gonna find it and read it and just like find everything that was on my mind and stuff. So that's why I started cursive writing, and I actually taught myself how to write it. Really pretty. Okay, so next journal is my art journal, and I'm sure you guys know what an art journal is, and you guys see it all the time in my videos. I love art journaling. That's what I do on my channel. And art journaling is kind of, it's the same as, you know, a regular journal writing, but instead of using words and instead of writing, you just show those thoughts through images and colors and photos. And the type of art journal that I like to do are collages. I love making collages. I love stationery. I love putting pictures together like this. Super pretty. This was my most recent journal spread. If you guys have not watched it, then you guys can go see how I made this. Super cute. And a lot of people do use art journals as a way to reflect their thoughts, but I don't really do that. Art journaling for me is more of a like sit down and just be creative and just relax. I like to put on music and just get photos and just have a fun time. So it's more of that. It's when things get rough for me, or if I'm not feeling well, or if I'm feeling excited and happy, then I take out my journal and I just have a fun time putting things together, putting collages and making this cool little book of pictures, and that's why I use art journaling. And the way to start art journaling is pick a favorite journal. You know, you can choose a journal or you can use a sketchbook, and an art journal is going to be personal to you, and it's going to be very different for every single person. You know, one person might make their art journals with more words and quotes, or somebody else might make their art journals with more pictures and sketches. So you can do whatever you want. You can use an art journal to just sketch. You can use it to maybe just make a collage, or you can put together photos and just have a fun time. And I recommend keeping an art journal so that you guys can have all of your creative ideas out in your book. And it's great because, you know, some people can lose creativity. You know, it's happened to me where I just feel uninspired and I don't feel like making anything, or I feel like it's not good enough, but an art journal kind of keeps me creating, you know. Okay, so I didn't mention this journal in my video because I don't really use it religiously like my other journals, but this is a commonplace journal, and I did a video on what a commonplace book is, so if you guys want to check it out then you can do so. But basically a commonplace journal is just a book of knowledge where you kind of write whatever you encounter on a daily basis, whether it's something that inspired you. Maybe you saw a quote that you loved and it gave you chills and you're like, oh my god, this is so true. You would write it down in your commonplace book. Maybe you saw an event happen and it made you feel a certain way. You can write that down as well. Maybe there was a fact you read inside a book and you were like, oh, I have to remember that. I'm gonna write it down in my commonplace book. But it's just a little journal with all of your ideas or anything that you encountered on a daily basis that really inspired you or got you thinking about something, then you would place it in this book. And I think it's great because sometimes I feel uninspired or sometimes I'll lose motivation. And there's certain quotes that always make me feel better. So if I flip through this book and I just read everything that I've written in here, any quotes or any facts or anything I observed or anything I was feeling, you know, I feel inspired again. And you don't have to do this on a daily basis. Some people do, but it's mainly just for when you come across something and you feel inspired or it made you feel a certain way. Like, so those are all the journals that I am currently using, and I want to know what kind of journal you guys use on a daily basis, or if there's any of these that you want to try out. Let me know. But journaling is something that I will always do. You know, I started this long ago. It's always made me feel better. I've always been a creative type of person, so I love a place where I can just open up and just, you know, create something like an art journal. If you have a bad day or if you have bad thoughts or good thoughts, doesn't matter, you can turn those thoughts into something pretty and beautiful. But it's something that's always helped me, and I feel like journaling is one of those things that people don't really realize how powerful it actually can be until they try it. So if you guys have not tried journaling, just try it. You know, grab a journal that you like, go to Walmart, get a journal for $1, the prettiest journal you can find, and just try writing your thoughts out, and you'll see how helpful that can be, and it's very therapeutic for me. And it's not something you have to do all the time. You don't have to write every single day. You know, you're gonna have to want to do it, you know, but also keeping a journal is great to reflect on in the future as well, because you know, you're a different person tomorrow than you were from today. And so reading back on a journal and seeing how much you've improved and grown and how your thoughts have changed over the years is really fun to look back on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below which journal you found the most interesting and which one you liked, or which one you are currently using, or which ones you want to start using. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.